Hey, everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Toulianos and brought to you by his book, The Bible of Bodybuilding, everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, of course, PEDs, available on Amazon.com, where you can also find my great book, Real Bodybuilding. Now, all the way from Athens, Greece, please welcome the good Dr. George Toulianos. How are you, sir?
Hi, Ron. It was good to see you at the Olympia.
Yeah.
You, Giles, Lauren, and Rick, and Steve, of course.
I wish we could have had dinner. It was just what a ridiculously crazy weekend it was. So many competitors, over 400 competitors in the Olympia, record-breaking Olympia. And
Yes.
we haven't talked since the Olympia. The last couple shows we actually recorded before the Olympia because we're both going to be out of town. So this is our first time to talk about your overall impressions. What did you think of the results of the 2022 Mr. Olympia?
Yeah, I believe that the top three is fair play, especially some people are not that impressed from Harry, yourself, comparing to the conditioning with Dorian. We have to admit that, yes, that Dorian and Ronnie were mass freaks, and they were also cut to the edge, sharp to the bone, you know. Now, Harry had the best quality overall. Maybe Lansford was more ripped, actually shredded in the glutes, the best detailed back. And actually, because of his extreme lat development, he had the most impressive V-taper.
Yeah.
But as he mentioned in the press conference, in the Olympia seminar the day after, and Honey Rambo also confirmed that, said that he was lacking a bit of maturity in the front.
Yeah.
In the rear, he was another man. But Harry Shupman had the best mass and quality also, and thickness and density. And as Rick Collins said next to me, he was becoming really harder as he was posing, you know. Very good also glycogen loading.
Yeah.
Fill up muscles. Now, Nick Walker had also extreme good mass and definition as well. Above the knees, you know, we know this problem, the aesthetical problem, that if I was a judge, I would score it like a giant. It equals to me.
Okay.
But also, yeah, great improvement from his fifth place. And also his midsection was downsized.
Yeah.
I was disappointed by Bonek, Curry, and of course, the reigning champion, Ramy. Now, during the pre-judging, Ramy didn't seem that bad to me, but from another view, his inner thighs, the adductors were blocky, you know, that's separated. If he was 300, he was overweight, obviously, compared to last year, that he was 280. And there were some lumps in the outer quads and the vastus lateral, but so well developed his thighs, like you cannot see that so clear. The Christmas tree was there and the shredded glutes, but yes, perhaps the triceps were flat. And I could see that also the next day when he shot with Ardenti, that his arms are not the best, of course, and his biceps are better developed than his triceps.
Right.
We were expecting something wow from Ramy, but it was different from the videos that he posted some weeks ago.
Even 1 week, even 2 weeks, 1 week, he was looking so different. So as I know you're not a neurologist.
I think he messed it up with the loading, you know, as expected. Everybody messes up that time with the extra insulin, the fluid retention, the sodium, the water. This can ruin your physique in 24 hours. I was impressed by Chris. I like him the overall. I mean, 12th place is a success for him. Carey is perhaps losing the definition in the legs or the size, and the upper department is fine. What else? It was tough lineup, of course, you know, so many guys. And of course, I was impressed by the sharpness of Bumstead.
Yeah, Chris looked great.
He's ultra shredded, and frankly, he can beat several guys in the open class that compete in Europe.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, they talk about how small Chris Bumstead is compared to like a Ramy or something, but he's just under 6'2". He's about 240 pounds. He's really the same height and weight that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in his prime. You know, I know Arnold wouldn't be big enough now, but that was a that's the physique most of us started bodybuilding because of, was Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I can see why Chris is so popular with all the young men around the world. They see that, and that's what they emulate. They want to look like that. They don't want to look like Hadi. They don't want to look like Ramy. Probably don't even want to look like that.
Mainstream, as we said, and everybody wants to look because he has a healthier perspective.
Yeah.
Good-looking guy. And I have to tell you, I was impressed by the line waiting in his meet and greet. It was 50 people waiting, crazy.
Yeah.
Compared to, I mean, Nick Walker had almost 20 people waiting, and the rest was ours. Even Ramy had 10 people waiting for him.
Yeah.
A lot of Egyptians cheering for him and applauding on the finals. There was a guy from Egypt that I met in Dubai. He traveled all the way to the finals. Yes.
Wow. Jeez. Yeah.
Also, Clarida was amazing. He was sitting in front of me in the finals, in the front row, was in the second row with Collins and Steve and Blackman.
Yeah.
He was dressed with a suit, He was not so big, but he was so dense under the clothes, of course.
Right. Yeah. He's like a little action figure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long he's going to win it, because I realized the 212 title has had, let's see, it was Flex Lewis was his last year, it was 2018. Then it was Kamal. Then it was Sean. Then it was Derek. And now it's Sean again. So the title has changed every year now.
Derek waited 2 years to come to not 1 year to go to the Open, right?
Well, he won the Olympia last year, 212. So he really didn't win.
Last year. Okay. So it's just 1 year, huh?
Yeah.
And he said at the day after the Olympia that he was waiting 230. That's impressive, going from 212 to 230, huh?
And the condition was just as good, if not better. It's I wouldn't, if he put 20, 25 pounds on and the condition wasn't there, not very impressive, but he was just as conditioned at 230 as he used to be at 212. So yeah, I mean, he's knocking on the door. He was second place in the world his first try at the Mr Olympia. It's not bad. But let me ask you, do you think Ramy's issues were really with carbing up, with filling out, missing his peak?
No, because they said also that his lats were not so low, and this is perhaps related to an injury in the spinal cord in the cervical region, where is that the lats are not well stimulated by the nerves of the brachial plexus.
Yeah.
Perhaps, I don't know, but definitely he's been pushing it to the limit for the past 10 years, 9 years.
Yeah.
We're competing, since he won the New York Pro, and all that loading in the muscles. But Ramy is training also with machines, unlike Ronnie, who blew it, and also Dorian, who blew it with free weights, mainly, exclusively.
Yeah. I don't know if we're ever going to find out what's going on with Ramy, because he wants to come back. He wants to try to win next year.
He wants to come back, really, after this?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess Bonac will retire, and that's the best thing to do, to stay with his family, and he's 40.
Oh.
But Ramy, coming back, I mean, we've seen the best of Ramy, and Ramy needs to understand that 300 pounds is not for winning according to the condition.
Yeah.
So 280, 290, perhaps 295, but 300, no.
Yeah, but
no matter how much you take and how much you lift, and it's just your body weight is not for your. It's not for you. That, I mean, everybody has a certain body weight that becomes shredded,
Yeah. If he never wins the Olympia again, he won.
He was defined, but it's missing the little quality in the inner thighs, and perhaps it's just a matter of cup loading,
Yeah.
Perhaps under depletion, he's ready to win the Olympia. The point is, he will look also flat.
Yeah. At 280, I think so. Well, I mean, we'll never know, but I'm saying if he never wins the Olympia, he's going to go down in history with Larry Scott, with Franco Columbu, other two-time Olympia winners. He had a great career. He's still hugely popular. Maybe
it's changing, hands. I mean, after the Phil Heath legacy, it's rotating like this.
Yeah, it was Phil Heath, it was the late Sean Roden, it was Brandon Curry, Ramy, and now Hadi. That's 5 Mr. Olympias in 6 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also, Chris Bumstead will come back, he said, in the finals and compete for the 5th time for the 6th time actually, but to win the 5th title. And so he blew all the rumors related to the kidney, or perhaps, I don't know, there's nothing to stop him.
Yeah.
I guess Bumstead, he has reached the limit, the body limit of 240, but I think the only option for him is just to improve detail, nothing else, just to sculpt,
Yeah.
because he cannot grow anymore.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's only about detail, maturity, nothing else.
Yeah. He's
So
27.
he cannot go off season tremendously to add some muscle, which is stupid, because then he has to sacrifice muscle.
You know, he's only 27 years old for one thing. He's a kid.
Yeah.
He's also said he goes very, very low dose, like almost, I don't know what the exact dose
doesn't
is.
need more, or we have explained this why, because it's just the scale. He doesn't need to go upper.
Right.
If you go upper, then you have to chop down muscle.
Yeah. He doesn't get over 260 pounds all year. For a guy
Now, at
that's,
250 to 60, he's off-season lean, you know.
yeah.
At 250, he's ripped, definitely. And he was dressing casual, you know, with shirts and jeans, like an ordinary guy in the streets. And this is what attracts people in mainstream. He's not just, you know, a clown with suits, with uniforms, you know, and clumsy and you know, like a bulldozer. He's the average guy, you know. He's a next door guy that he takes his shirt off like Superman.
Yeah, and he's still
amazing the taper like this, huh?
His front lat spread is just lights out, you know. You could criticize, well, he needs bigger arms, but oh well, it's everybody's got something. Everyone's got one little body part you can pick on.
Oh, the side thigh and the rear glute, come on.
Dude, his side, I put up a picture of his side chest because I think that's one of the most perfect side chests in the world right now. Maybe it's the best one.
Yeah, think about if he earns 50K from winning the classic physique. 50K is what also the top 5 gets in the Olympia. And I doubt if he'll get top 5 if he goes to the open class. So he'll remain there to collect the 50K, which is peanuts according to his other contracts. But he wants to create a legacy that nobody afterwards can break.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him winning 7, 8 of those titles. I mean, right now,
there's nobody that can catch him in size, and he's a giant. You know, he's taller than the other guys.
Yeah,
he has the quality already. So him and the others are class separate. You know.
Yeah, he's dominating, and he's such a nice guy too. I actually met his father and talked to his dad for a little while at the meet and greet. What a cool guy! You could see where Chris gets his personality from. Very easygoing, mellow, laid back. You know, not like.
And he was a different guy. I met him also on the Gala Party 2019 and dressed. He was an athletic guy, you know, just doing track athletics. And now he almost doubled in size. Wow. And the quality also in his back, especially his arms and his glutes.
Yeah, I mean, Chris used to have a pretty bad back, and it's come so far. He's going to win for a while. All right, well, doctor, we've been collecting questions. You didn't tell me you didn't want any of these questions, so I'm going to give them all to you. So, yeah. All right, let's start with the first one. Doctor, speaking of cholesterol control supplements, what do you think of red yeast rice compared to medications? And this was sent from another doctor, Leandro Manducci.
Yeah, we said that before, that this is the best supplement that works. It's a plant-based statin. And I have made up a formula, manufactured formula in a pharmacy in Athens that I give it to other patients. It has also 600 milligrams of red rice yeast. Personally, I'm taking 1,200 with every meal, along with other ingredients. It's a good alternative. But of course, if you have hereditary dyslipidemia with family history, and also if you have a history of a heart attack and a stent, then I guess it's a must to go on statins. Today there was one guy at the office that I told him just use a statin for 2 weeks, and afterwards, when you bring it down, you can maintain your low cholesterol levels, LDL and total cholesterol with red rice yeast and this formula that I make.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to be on
no side effects to the muscles.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky. I've been on 10 milligrams of the generic for Lipitor for about 3 years now, and I don't think I've had any damage to my muscles. Maybe I have. I don't know. So let's go to the next one. When is the best time to take metformin? Right before a high carb meal of 500 milligrams. I guess the 500 milligrams is the dose of metformin. So is the best time to take it right before a high carb meal or right after the meal?
No, don't think about that. It works like insulin, that it involves the insulin release. But just you take it in the morning and works throughout the day. So it's not like vanadyl sulfate that you used to take to improve the insulin sensitivity. Metformin works as a hypoglycemic by inhibiting the glucose production from the liver. So I just take it in a day, 1 gram actually.
Okay.
All right.
All right, cool. Can you please talk about the importance of glutathione?
Yeah, glutathione is the best antioxidant. It's produced in the liver. Also, it cleans up the liver and improves the skin quality. Also, NAC forms glutathione. NAC is very plenty in the lungs. In COVID patients in ICU, glutathione and NAC levels will depleted in the liver and the lungs. And glutathione also improves the immunity. I'm taking glutathione all year round, injectable every day, along with NAC, and it can bring the liver enzymes down. Yeah, it's really good, but orally doesn't work. So if you take it orally, you have to add also NAC on top of this and some glutamine that synthesize glutathione. Also, whey protein can also make up glutathione.
Okay.
All right, and definitely you need it if you booze and if you're there's a lot of free radical in your system, then it's a must to use it.
Yeah, but injectable is the way to go for potency.
Absolutely, injectable either in the vein or in the muscle.
Okay. Here's one. Are there ways to inhibit myostatin? We've been hearing about myostatin inhibition for years now. Is there a way to actually do that?
Myostatin is the best, which is well defined. It's a myostatin inhibitor, but also creatine monohydrate. It's a myostatin inhibitor, yes.
What was the first
and
one?
Also HMB, I'm sorry, HMB also.
No, I talked over. So it was creatine, HMB, and what was the first one that you
mentioned?
The
Betagen, which is by Bill Phillips.
Betagen.
HMB and creatine. I say, yeah, actually, these are the best supplements that work.
Okay, cool. Next gentleman says, I've got...
I'm sorry, also, and growth hormone is a myostatin inhibitor. But of course, it's a compound.
You need a lot of, how much would like the 2-3 IUs
I guess that when IGF-1 is released, then it blocks also myostatin.
Okay.
So from abuse.
None of us look like that. You know those bulls, the Belgian blue? Yeah, we still don't have a human being that looks like that. It's just like glows.
Well, I think Ramy was the first human being, Ramy, the off-season, he is 330.
Yeah, I think he's been to 350.
350, actually, yes. 330 was Coleman and Paul Dillette.
Yeah, Ronnie never got to 350. Ronnie was like 330 at his very heaviest. So Ramy, I guess, was the biggest out of everybody. Next one, gentleman says, I've got carpal tunnel syndrome. Every time I type on my phone or grip a bar, I start to get numb. I'm using grips always. Any way it can cure fast. How do you cure carpal tunnel without surgery?
Without surgery, well, you stop with G8 and you add here. I've seen some typewriters that wear this band over here that relieves the compression. The other is to take some anti-inflammatory drugs.
Okay.
Remove the inflammation from the tendons and tendons. Another way, then you have to cut the transverse ligament.
Ouch.
In order to decompress the median nerve that passes through.
Yeah, it's a very common surgery. A lot of people get that done, so I don't think there's anything to worry about. Here's a good one. I don't know if you know the answer to this. I don't even know what these. I know telmisartan. Would olmesartan work instead of telmisartan?
I never tried it, but telmisartan works better than losartan.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Yeah. How much money do you spend a month for all of your stack?
I never estimated that, but it gets a lot. Yes. I spend a lot of money in food and supplementation. Yes, it's two kinds of supplements. The one there for performance and the other for health. It's a lot. It's kind of a mess. And if I can afford, I do it. If I cannot afford, there was a time, Ron, when I was broke.
Yeah. I
had only $20 in my pocket. I was entering the supplement store. I said, what should I buy? A vitamin B complex or a vitamin C? Because I have $20 in my pocket.
Yeah.
I was broke. I was miserable as a student, or waiting for my residency.
Yeah. And
basically I couldn't afford anything.
Yeah. I mean,
but now I party because I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and as I grow, Ron, I understand two things. Bodybuilders eat food, and bodybuilders buy gear from the pharmacy. When I was young and naive, I was buying every shit that the dealers were giving me. And number two, I was infatuated by all this fancy advertising, the bottles and Arnold on the on the All Stars, you know, I was eating nice and tasty powders, and I thought I was going to grow with this, but now I'm tired of that. I love food, you know, how it tastes and digests, and it fills me up my body, and I never buy anything that's not from the farmers. I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah.
As Mike Madrazo said, don't put unofficial stuff into the body.
That's why I'm trying to get with Andre Miller, Frontline Alternative, so I can start putting pharmaceutical stuff.
Get from Thomas the prescription for testosterone. Perhaps if you can do it for nandrolone, but if you have no reason to compete, why to try something that perhaps doesn't work, perhaps an underdose, have other compounds inside, it's contaminated, heavy metals. What the hell? I mean,
yeah, I mean, the stuff that most of us bodybuilders who buy underground gear are putting in our bodies, it's scary. We don't know where it's made. We don't know what's really in it. You know, it could have all kinds of heavy metals in it.
In narcotics, in alcohol, and in gasoline, the money comes out of fake, you know. So the same goes for gears.
Absolutely.
And all those guys, I mean, it wouldn't go, I mean, all pure materials, because out of, you know, making the fake one, you earn money, obviously.
Of course. Yeah. If you can sell, you know, if you can pass D-ball off as Anavar, you just made 3 times more money, 4 times more
money. Also
money.
putting 50% of Anavar, under 50% whistle, you know?
I'm sure. A lot of fake. That's how a lot of these women get the deep voices. They think they're taking Anavar or they're a prima ball, they're taking Test and D-ball and Anadrol. They don't even know. All right. GH question. I plan to run HGH 6 to 8 IUs. I hear different methods and opinions. Would you recommend every day or 5 days on, 2 days off?
If you can afford to go 7 days a week.
Yeah.
The breaking and working also with GHRH peptide is for economy reasons, or allegedly to kick your own production. But after your 40s, do you expect to have elevated IGF-1 levels? So why take a break?
Yeah.
Now, if you have to to minimize your dose, let's say to 5 or 4 IUs, I mean, 7 days in a row, I would do that instead of taking 5 or 6 IUs and have a break.
Right. Yeah. I never understood the break thing. Now it makes sense. Just people trying to save money, but you'd get better results by taking it every day than taking 2 days off, obviously. Okay. We got a nutrition question about post-workout nutrition. I have oats in my post-workout shake. Would I be better off without oats at this time? Just looking for calories and insulin release. Maybe follow it with grape juice or banana. Also, one would, then there's a GH question, but what do you have for post-workout carbs?
Yeah, I think oats is not the best option because it has fiber, and fiber slows down the insulin release. So grape juice is good, and banana also. And actually, banana has to be brownish or yellowish and not greenish, you know?
Yeah.
So the more mature it is, the higher the glycemic index.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I have is I have whey protein and I have cereal, Honey Nut Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Cocoa Puffs, just a lot of sugar, very low fiber, a lot of sugar. In the old days.
They have white rice in powder.
Yeah. I've seen like cream of rice, cream of
rice.
Yeah. And the old bodybuilders used to have jars of baby food after the workout. Remember that? That's real old school. That was like going back to the 80s. I used to try that.
Fish and white rice is the best option because fish has a lot of water, no fat. It can really absorb. And white rice packs insulin.
Yeah, I always have white rice and chicken is my post-workout meal every day. His second question was, of course, when would be the ideal time to dose GH 2.5 units a day? I know I can't build much muscle with that dose, but want to make at least an optimal time. So if you're only taking one dose of 2.5 IU of GH, when would you take it, doctor?
Some people say do it in the morning, at night to improve your sleep, but also you cut off your own production. Others say it would be better to do it in a fast state early AM when you wake up, having the 8 hours fasting or 12 hours fasting from the dinner to improve the fat burning. Personally, I do it when I start my day, you know. Yeah. When I was splitting the dose, I was doing also PM, but PM, usually you're not in a low glucose, and this also interferes with the fat burning because fat burning works well when insulin is low. And because GH in the long run goes with insulin resistance, if you have already have carbohydrates, then you favor perhaps the glycemia.
Yeah.
But do it in the morning.
Yeah, but just wait 30. You always said 30 minutes. You want to wait?
I'm saying that in order to work better, you know, it has the lifetime of the age of one is 30 minutes. So it works well doing the fat burning job.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you can start. Yeah.
Okay. Question about Dutasteride regarding hair loss, but also hair regrowth. Is it possible to do a microdosing cure with it to minimize the side effects, at the same time achieve the same effect? Since the half-life of it, this is Dutasteride, is 3 to 5 weeks, this could possibly work or not. I've considered to use it only 2 to 3 days, half a milligram, or is this totally wrong? Dutasteride.
So you do it for her. Yes, I mean, taking a break, it wouldn't be that bad. But if you have prostate cancer, you need every day.
Oh, geez. Is that what that medication's for? Prostate cancer?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, geez. My.
I have a patient who's taking the Dutasteride and the testosterone with prostate cancer. He doesn't want to remove his prostate because he's having great time with women half of his age.
That's right. Was this the CIA guy who was in the CIA and all that?
Yeah, he told me yesterday from Bali. He says, I was laid down with, I'm 60 with below 30, he goes, you know. Yeah, and he checks also his estrogens to be low.
Hey, you know, some guy in the comments section said, Ron is jealous of Dr. T's hair. I am. Look at that.
Oh, listen.
Beautiful hair.
Back here, I'm also have a little bit of thinning hair, you know. Yeah. So nobody's perfect. Now, if I was taking the Dutasteride, perhaps I would have better hair, but I want to miss my sex drive.
Yeah.
I'll consider it about, but you have to go the way, you know. The Dutasteride and stop also taking Proviron. I'm taking Proviron. Right. If I stop Proviron, I'll lose my cognitive function, my sex drive, my hardness a little bit. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, there's always something. You take one thing cures one problem you have, and it gives you other problems. It's side effects.
You can have it all.
All right, almost done here. I take 100 milligrams a week of test and 40 milligrams a week of nandrolone decanate. I split the test into 2 injections a week. Is there any reason to split up the nandrolone dosage as well? Is it better to stagger the test and nandrolone and inject each on different days? Would the answer be different if I went on a cycle dose of 200 tests and 100 meg nandrolone?
When you're in a cycle, it doesn't make so much sense because you blast. But we usually split the doses twice a week, whatever that is, to have more steady levels. But when you follow the HRT protocol, you microdose with nandrolone for the same reason as with testosterone, to avoid the impact on the estradiol and also on the HT, the metabolites, on the impact on estrogens and also the hematocrit. In this way, you minimize the side effects because adding the nandrolone on the TRT stack, you're not doing this for muscle gains, but also mainly for the smoothing out the joint aches. It's not an anticatabolic dose, 50 milligrams, yeah. Now, in the long run, perhaps it will, but mind that if you go higher, you're going to go for the phlebotomy much sooner because you have already the testosterone. Now, imagine if you are doing stacks and cycles, then this scenario is more likely to happen, to go and give blood.
Our final question, you just actually mentioned this. Hello, doctor. My question is, I noticed you are taking Proviron and a supplement for the prostate. Do you take both of them at the same time or do you keep them separated?
No, the supplement for the prostate is to take it once a day. The lycopene is a compiled carotenoid antioxidant that is found in tomato paste. And I'm taking this along with my multivitamin and the other antioxidants that I'm taking as a stack. But it's not like Dutasteride, you know, that blocks the DHT. And Proviron, I tell to my patients to break it down 25 a.m. p.m. Myself, I'm also taking either this way, but also 50 milligrams at once, you know. Okay. So it doesn't interfere the one with the other. Lycopene is a prevention against the prostatic cancer of the gland. It's not to cut off DHT like Sopalmeto, allegedly.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, doctor, that was a lot of questions that we built up over a couple of weeks and not answer questions. So thank you for being patient and helping everybody out around the world, as you always do. Guys, if you like these videos, please give them a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit that notification bell thing up in the corner. Turn on the notifications on your iPhone or Android, for those of you who have an Android still. That's it, man. We appreciate it. If you have questions, you can leave them right here in the comments below, or you can just leave comments. They don't have to be questions. We like all your feedback. That's it. We appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah, I had a chance to see the upcoming editorial for February. It's really amazing.
Oh, you saw it. You saw your layout?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to send it to you.
He did a great job with, of course, with Purple Null and Steve Blackman that decided out of the pictures that he was offered what to choose. And also I want to say that I had the opportunity to give my book to Honey Rambut and take a picture with Harry Schuppen, but also to Peter Mornell, who was a fan of me. He wanted me to give him my book signed. Yes.
Who was that?
Peter Molnar.
Oh, Peter Molnar from Hungary.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Oh, so you saw the layout. The pictures came out great. Really good.
Yeah.
The leather jacket, the motorcycle, the training stuff.
It's I think seven pages, something like that.
It's a really nice feature. I think you
and
saw
also the front cover is the motorcycle, like the Arnold.
From Terminator. Terminator 2, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it came out great, man. I'm very.
I was surprised when I saw you the first time in Planet Hollywood breakfast. You were having your apple pie.
Oh, apple pie? No, I didn't have apple pie.
You had apple pie, yeah.
No, that was I think those are pancakes or waffle or something.
I also gave my book to Lauren. Yes, Lauren.
Jordan's girl, Lauren, Giles' girl, Lauren. Yeah. That was the first time I met Lauren, and I haven't seen Giles since the 2020 Arnold. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Also, the Arnold Classic list is going to be coming out first week of January, so stay tuned.
Yeah, initially they said that the amateur Arnold is off, but he bring it back.
It's back, yeah. Are you going to be? Do you know? Are you going to be doing the Arnold Education Seminar again?
Yeah, I'm gonna get informed, but I have purchased the ticket now. I'm waiting for Dominate Your Game to tell me for sure in order to book the hotel, and buy and also to check in with to approve the airway ticket that has already been paid.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, we'll definitely be there, man. So we look forward to seeing you again soon. Not that far away. It's only not even 3 months away, right? January, February. Yeah, it's like 2
months. Now, Dan Solomon said that the next Olympia will be the first week of November in Florida. Yeah. They have a contract that they have to go in Orlando.
They have a what?
They have a contract with Big Blue that they have to appear in Orlando also. That's a deal.
So I think it's going to be every other year. So it'll be Las Vegas, Orlando, Las Vegas, Orlando. I think that's what they're going to do.
And also, if you think about Orlando, has the benefit that Pacific Standard Time is able to watch it better rather than when you go late Pacific Standard Time. It's early a.m. in Eastern Standard Time, so they're having this time zone of 3 hours difference, and it's hard to watch the live stream. Now, I was surprised that we're not allowed to take live video, but only short stories,
Yeah, well, I mean, tons of people were doing the short stories and then putting them on YouTube later anyway. I saw so many of those clips. But yeah, you're right, because so that show, like Friday night, the judging didn't get out till after midnight in Las Vegas. So that was 3 a.m. on the East Coast. That's 10 o'clock at night in Greece. I mean, it was just late. The people in Europe were like up all night watching that thing.
Oh, people in Europe from Las Vegas, actually, it's almost 10 hours. It's 10-hour difference, 9 to 10. And they have a benefit, it's early in the morning when you wake up, it's late in Vegas.
Yeah, but you got to be awake all day when you're supposed to be asleep too. So I don't know. Giles it took Giles and Lauren like the whole weekend to try like adjust their body clock. And I'm sure you were dealing with that too, because it's the time. What a time difference. That's the jet lag. Anyway, well, great seeing you. And guys, send your questions, put them under there in the comments, share the video, like the video, do all that good stuff. We appreciate you watching. Ask Dr. Testosterone. We're going to see you right here next week. Thanks. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.